And let's get straight into our debate this evening. Has the state government and the government of the centre been virtually clueless in Kashmir? The crisis that we've seen in the last 3 months, how much of it is a result of utter and complete political mishandling and missteps at every stage? Let me start with Jayanti Natarajan, if I can. Jayanti Natarajan, the Congress it has taken a rather peculiar position. You are in alliance with the National Conference in Jammu and Kashmir, yet the statement that came out of the Cabinet Committee on Security spoke about the trust deficit and the governance deficit of Omar Abdullah's government. Omar Abdullah has become the face of that governance deficit, but it's also your party in power there. So is the Congress conceding a failure of its own party and its own politics?
No, we are not at all. The interpretation that I have on this statement is really a much larger picture where this is an issue that has been a cycle of militancy, of violence, and then again of democratically elected governments over the last 14 or 15 years. It's not something, as Mr. Jetli said, that happened just 2 months ago. A paradigm has certainly shifted in the last 2 months after the Amarnath Yatra was politicized, and again now the stone pelting issues that are being indulged in by the people in the valley. So no, this is, I think, in a much larger context of a governance deficit. I don't think it pertains particularly to one person in this instance, although there may be discussions at the highest levels about how the governance should and ought to be handled.
Do you believe, Jayanti, that Omar Abdullah has failed to connect with the people of the valley in the last 3 months? His critics say he's emotionally aloof, that he's only made one trip, for example, to hospitals across Srinagar, a tightly controlled one in a helicopter, that he has not reached out to the families of those who have died. Do you not believe that there has been an elementary failure of political outreach?
You know, Barka, I honestly want to again shift that focus slightly in direct answer to your question, however, and that is Mr. Advani's strident politicization. I found, frankly, with all due respect to such a senior leader, appalling. Mr. Jetli, your newsmaker, couched it in more elegant terms. But the fact of the matter is, they are saying there is nobody in this country, definitely not my party or the government, that will for 1 minute do anything but applaud the role of the security establishment.
That's fine, but you didn't answer my question.
The huge sacrifice.
You may have serious differences with the BJP, but what about the failure of your own coalition?
Please permit me to. Barka, I just want to complete what I'm saying.
Okay, go
but
ahead.
To juxtapose that against, say, please now remove Omar Abdullah is an answer that the secessionists want to hear. And therefore to say a democratically elected government, assuming without admitting that there may have been some lapses, definitely there is an issue, there is a problem here, we have to admit it, there's no getting around it. Therefore, a chief minister who has been elected, even admitted by them with such a wonderful mandate, to say off with his head is a complete failure of democracy.
Okay.
So this is exactly what the secessionists want, the buffer to be removed. And the BJP is, what they are saying is music to the ears of those people who are against the interests of an integrated and united India. So I'm appalled that this is an argument that is being put forward by the BJP. But to answer your question in one sentence, yes, there is an issue of governance. If the situation has spun out of control to such a great extent, there is an issue of governance which will have to be addressed by the state government, and whatever security concerns have to be addressed will have to be addressed by the centre.
Okay.
There is a problem. That is why we've called an all-party meeting tomorrow.
All right. So you are saying that the BJP is playing dangerous politics, but there is a definite issue of governance. Ghulam Ratanpuri of the National Conference, if we can get you in here, the National Conference has argued throughout that this has nothing to do with governance, that this has nothing to do with administration, that this is a larger and deeper political problem. But now the censure and the criticism that is coming to you is not coming from the media or the separatists or even the opposition. It is coming to you from your alliance partner at the centre.
First, my name is Ghulam Nabi Ratanpuri. I have just heard Mrs. Jayanti Natarajan, and he has not said anything that amounts to criticizing the coalition government in Jammu and Kashmir.